Oh boy, here we go. We're going to go, why did I bring someone new here today? Here we go, huh? The horse. Of course. A horse is a horse. Of course. And no one can talk to a horse. And that unless the famous horse, amazing Mr. Ed, go right to the source and ask the horse. He'll give you an answer that you'll endorse. Have you ever heard of a talking source? Well, listen to this. I am that I am. Yes, I love that show. We're dating ourselves, of course we are. We all know that, but I love Mr. Ed. And what I love about Mr. Ed is the horse seemed to know more than everyone on the show. The horse had wisdom. Oh, Wilbur. Oh, Richard. Oh, Maureen. Oh, Bill. What are you doing? And then he would spurt out this incredible wisdom that would come forth from this infinite place of the wellspring of love. And when I think about the Toolman Taylor, remember that show with Toolman Taylor? I'll put this back up later. We won't worry about that now. Where there was a guy next door who had he had a face and you could only see his eyes, but he knew all this wisdom as well. We have that wisdom inside of us as well. And we've been talking about, we're dealing with apocalypse. End times, revelation, the word means. It means to allow the veil to be lifted from that which is hidden within all beings. And our practices and our teachings allow us to do that. And we've been talking about the four horsemen of the apocalypse as part of the four parts of our own being. As we embrace each part of ourselves, we awaken to the infinite source of wisdom that speaks to us and like a hoarse whisperer tells us the truth of our beauty and our holiness and our innocence. We said the first Sunday 3 weeks ago that it starts with the green horse, which is our physical body. Everybody who comes here comes into the world in a physical body, a physical form. And no matter what shape your body might be in, it can feel young and like a colt filled with estrogen and testosterone, ready to take on the world. Or it can be somewhere in the middle, kind of, or it can feel like it's going out to pasture. Or it can feel well or healthy or sick. Whatever the body's condition, it can be used as an anchor to help us to awaken to who we are. The green horse can become our friend, bringing great awareness as an awakening to our own self. It's the body that we're in now. Not the body you'd like to have, but the body you have, and the one you're in right now. The second one we talked about was the nature of the heart, the red horse. That the heart is our place of emotions and intellect, the place of our emotions and our feelings, where we feel things deeply. And the heart is, again, it's made to be broken and open 1,000 times. Breaking open, and then to feel what we haven't felt. So when we feel those things we've been running away from, they also become our friends as well. And today we're moving to the third horse. And again, here's what it says in the Bible. And when he had opened the third seal, I heard the third animal say, Come and see. And behold, I saw a black horse, and he who sat on him had a pair of balances in his hands. Do you feel that? That's our intellect. That's our thought nature, our thinking mind. Thinking. The mind is thinking all the time. The roadside sign says it all. My own tedious thoughts, the next 200 miles. The mind is constantly thinking all the time. We are thought machines, like parts of the body produce bile and phlegm. The brain produces and secretes thoughts. We're a thinking machine, are we not? We're thinking all of the time. And the thinking nature can be a great friend for us, or it can be a great burden if we can't get free of it or don't recognize our own thought patterns. The way in which we continually think about things is the way we experience things. So when I was thinking about thoughts and how to deal with our thinking nature, I was thinking about, well, unity. Unity says, thoughts held in mind. That's right, and the Buddha taught that the thought creates the word develops into the deed becomes the habit, and then you see me as the personality that I am. Therefore, we're told by the Buddha, let all of your thoughts spring forth, come from the wellspring of love. The thought is very close to Mr. Education, Mr. Ed, the great teacher. If we can stay close to the thought, we can have great power and wisdom come to us when we understand how to develop a relationship with our own thinking self. So I'm sitting in my porch at the house in Shoreline in Washington, and we had this view of a place called Echo Lake right outside our window. On top of the houses there was this beautiful lake. And our little cat, Moku, liked to sit up on the railing right by where the window was, and she would meow at us. We'd go to sit and to meditate. In the morning we'd wake up and she'd meow, meow. She'd want to go outside. So we would go outside, and then we take our seat back in meditation again, and then she'd come right up on the window, right in there and go, meow, meow. She wanted to come in. And so she would come in and get 2 bites of food, and then she'd come in to us and go, meow, meow. Sound like anybody you know? I want to get out. When she was in, she wanted out. When she was out, she wanted in. Does that sound like anybody you know? Our thoughts? You know, I wanted to be with him, but now I like her. I wanted to be here, but it's looking better over there. Does that sound like anybody's thoughts you know? Those are our thoughts, often opposed to each other. The thinking mind is like that. It constantly goes through extremes. Meow, meow, in and out, woof, 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 all day long. That's what we do. So I had this plan. You know how you make the ego makes these great plans? Well, I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I am going to let her out, and then I'm going to, when she comes back up and meows, I'm going to chase her down the stairs. This is like how you deal with your thoughts. You know this one? Moku, no, 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 no. And make her just go into the forest, you know, and leave me alone. And I come back up like this, and I go, and it would take 30 minutes to calm back down again after chasing my thoughts away. Do you know about chasing your thoughts that way? It doesn't work. They just come back, you know, ow, ow, let me back in again. So I said, well, that's not working very well. So then I decided to do another approach. This time I'm going to get a water bottle, and I'm going to fill it up with water. This is not what I use. I didn't use chemicals, not like cat. I'm not that good. But I love the shout, you know. So I'm going to use the water bottle technique. Anybody try to discipline an animal with a water bottle? It's like, Moku, no. Squirt, 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 squirt. Moku, no. Squirt, 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 squirt. And then when I need to deal with her, and she just saw the water bottle, she'd become frightened of my positive thinking. Squirt, 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 squirt. And none of that worked. It was just more resistance. The more I try to chase my thoughts away or use weaponry of affirmations, piling positive thoughts on top of negative thoughts, the more they come back to haunt me. So I was sitting there and I was noticing my windows. In Seattle, 2 weeks a year, there's summer. And we have windows that sort of flop out this way. And I noticed that the window over to the right had no screen in it. It was a small jalousie I could open up. And so hear me now. I went over to the window and I just opened it up. And I let Moku know, I let my thoughts know that they could come in and go out on their own. Go in and go out. This is the relationship we're to develop with our thinking mind. To become friendly with our thoughts. Let them come in and let them go. Don't fight them, don't resist them, don't shout at them. Just be aware of them. Bring awareness to what most of the time we're not aware of. Just let the window be open. Come in and go out. Have a little bit of food, come in and go out. And the truth was, I had to literally train her to do that. Because in the beginning, she was still pretending the window was closed. So I took her little body and I said, Moku, my thoughts, your thoughts, the window's open. You can go out. Here you go. And I take her, and then I put her back on the windowsill and go, and see, you can come back in again. Do you feel the difference of working with your mind that way? Rather than fighting your thoughts, you open your heart up to these are just thoughts. They rise, they fall, they come and go. And yet there's this fresh air. I love Terry Gross, don't you? Welcome to fresh air. Fresh air. You know that fresh air that's much greater than your presenting particular thought situation? What does it say? We think 17,000 thoughts a day? You know, all of us are thinking machines. To develop a relationship with your thinking mind, to be aware of that which comes and goes. The mind itself swims in a vast sea of constant thoughts, of judgments and fears and not good enough and sorrow and not getting what we think we need. Those thoughts constantly think through our mind all by themselves. They're just there. And then the teachers tell us, like Charles Fillmore, not only do we have the thoughts that I'm thinking, but my thinking joins with your thinking, and together we create race-mind consciousness. So we're thinking all these thoughts together all the time. The Hindus call it ancient mind storyline. So we're constantly breathing in and breathing out all of these thoughts that the mind is always thinking. But we're more than just our thinking mind. There's a guy at the gym, a big brother, and he knows me. We see each other a lot at the gym. And he calls me the Reverend. He goes, "How you doing, Reverend?" And I said, "Well, you know, I'm not doing too bad. Today I'm not taking my thoughts too seriously." That's a pretty common answer for me. "How are you today?" "Well, when I don't take my thoughts too seriously, I'm doing quite fine."